Feel better than you did Saturday? It wasn't a bad feeling Saturday.
Always feel blessed to come in here and coach, honestly, regardless of what's going on. It's a blessing to coach basketball. I wake up every day excited about that, regardless of results.
Would you call that your best game so far, or USF?
You know, I don't know. I hadn't necessarily tried to put it in perspective of, what's our best game. It's just we got to continue to try to keep improving every day. And if our mindset and focus is on today and getting better, I believe over time we'll play good basketball and find good results. But again, I said this after the game against Houston, I'm not into moral victories. I'm not happy with the result, but there were some things that happened throughout the game that you can be proud of.
How difficult is that to appreciate approach and effort and execution when the result isn't what you want?
Yeah, I mean, human nature. You want it right now. I want it right now as much as any person has ever lived. But in a leadership role, your job is to have perspective. That's always given me peace when you can step back and put things in perspective. And if we're working the right way every day, if we're improving, we're approaching it the right way, that's where we need to evaluate ourselves. And in a lot of ways, we're doing good things. It's not good enough, and we still have to take more steps forward, and we have to figure out how to win one or two more possessions. But if we keep trending upward, I think over time we'll find those results.
Did it feel different this time because it wasn't you guys having to maybe fight back from an early goal? You came out right away and really took it to them. Did that feel like a different another step forward?
Not necessarily. I thought we played good basketball at times, especially from middle of December onward. I feel like we've had a number of games we've played really well. I feel like we've had some games we've come out of the gate in that time period. Not many, but few and far between, where we build holes and we have to dig back out of them. So I prefer we play well all the time, but we've experienced all kinds of different dynamics already with this year's team.
When you look at a performance like Walker's and you look back at the game plan and the tape altogether, is it more so his NBA talent, top 10 level talent, overcoming just the positioning and good defense, or was it more breakdowns and stuff that you guys think you need to work on this week?
It's a great question. I think number one, you look at it and you got to look at it from a couple different angles. Sasser has 9, which I haven't looked, but that's got to be one of his lowest scoring totals of the year, if not the lowest scoring total of the year in the league. So you hold the preseason player of the year to 9, the guy that really generates their runs offensively to 9. I thought we did a pretty good job on Mark. Like we hold him getting those quality looks from 3. I mean, we did a pretty good job for the most part on Shed. I thought he got loose there a little bit late. So the more bodies you run at somebody else, the more you free up other guys. And you look at Houston, I think they're top 5 in the nation in 10-0 runs throughout games. And you're trying to limit those runs by not giving them run-outs in transition off your turnovers or bad shots, and we did a nice job of really limiting that. And you try to limit those runs by not letting Sasser and Mark get going shooting a bunch of threes, because you look at their team, that's how they break away and separate from people. So as you're doing that, there's going to be a little bit more room to operate for guys in the post, because a lot of people do double them in the post. And the freshman Walker has a little more room to operate because we're staying at home on shooting. And you feel like over the course of the game, the majority of the shots are difficult shots over the top from 2. And you're just sitting there going, hey, we got to get him to miss one of those. Like, we're going to break through when he misses 2 or 3 of them. And so there's a combination of he had a pretty damn good night, and then there's probably 4 or 5 possessions where we let him be just a little too comfortable. We didn't crowd his space enough. We didn't close out high hand. Those were 2 of the threes hit in the first half were the ones that were hard to live with. Some of the really tough ones over the top in the second half, we can live with tough 2s over the top, especially when you think the other guys aren't getting their comfortable rhythm shots.
Mike has struggled the last 2 games shooting the ball. He's over the year, he's been pretty good. Do you expect him to get it back together here?
Sure. Yeah, he's a great player. He'll play well down the stretch.
The execution, the way you're running the double screens and the way Vic's rolling, is that you guys as coaching staff, feeling like you now know what you want to do? Is it the team executing better? Is it a combination of both?
I think, you know, it's like anything that happens on a basketball court. Everybody's got to be on the same page, and we've said this all along. This team will get better and better as the year goes on if we keep approaching it right every day. So in terms of offensive execution and roles, as a coaching staff, we have a much better feel for who our team is, where we need to focus our attention offensively, how we need to attack certain defenses, and the guys are doing a nice job of picking up those concepts, working on them, and then taking them into games. So yeah, I thought we had a good game plan offensively going into the Houston game. The guys did an excellent job executing it, and then guys, it helps when you shoot the ball well too, because we got really quality looks, but that doesn't mean they're always going to go in, and they went in to start that game.
Thanks, Coach.